I think that we should open the episode with telling people that it is your birthday.
It is not my birthday, but hey, sure.
Yes, it is.
It
Rakan
is.
likes to mess around that it's not his birthday. And sometimes he'll even message us and be like, wow, guys, you're really bad friends for not wishing me a happy birthday. And it'll be like the middle of friggin' September.
Fuck.
Do you remember when we all played Minecraft a couple years ago on Rakan's birthday and me and Jack made you like a birthday corner and we made you a cake?
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Burger and Shawarma Gaming. I'm your host. You should know by now. I'm T. Joined, because it's a very special day, guys, I must say. I'm going to begin with, to my right is a shawarma, and it's Rakan. And what's important to note about today is that it may or may not be his birthday. The problem is, since I've known Rakan for like a decade, he's always been a bit nebulous about when his birthday actually is. Sometimes it's been July 4th. Sometimes it's June 4th. Sometimes it's nowhere near those dates. So it's a 50% chance it's his birthday. So we're going to be extra nice to him for this episode. Even more so than normal.
Okay, fair enough.
So happy birthday.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
birthday.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. Even though it's not really my birthday, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment.
He's 10 today. And on we've got a burger. And she's a very happy burger because she has been delving into the world of Dishonored 2. And I think she's got some stories to say about that. So, shall we get started with your homework, Elise?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to hear what Elise has been doing because she's been hitting me up with those messages telling me, "Oh, I feel like this is where you should be."
Really?
Yes. It's like telling me, "Oh, this ghetto. It feels like this is where you should be." All that kind of stuff. So I want to see what the fuck she's on about.
Now, Rakan, I'm in control of editing out all of that.
So you're censoring him?
Is that what
Yeah, I
like
censor you as well, Jack. I'll take that out too. It's fine. I wanted to start by giving just a very brief couple sentence overview of the game, of the plot that you gain from the very beginning. So, a family reunion and a coup. You thought the rat plague was bad? Get ready for robots, blood flies, and your long-lost aunt. Being framed for conspiracy and murder is a classic pastime for Corvo. He's turned to stone. Emily was on the throne, but now she's dishonored too.
Did you make that up, Elise?
Yeah.
Elise, that's really good.
Thanks.
That's quite good. Actually.
I've been enjoying doing that I think I've been doing it since Prey.
Yeah.
Where I just say like something silly at the beginning.
Like, unironically good.
Thank you.
Almost too good.
Anyway. So, kind of one important detail that I realized I didn't say last week, but it's very important to the story, is so at the end of the you have a sense of it through the whole first game, but the end of the game confirms that Corvo, so the protagonist of the first game, is Emily's dad. So he had been, getting it on with the Empress before she died, and Emily is his daughter. So in this game, as you can guess, you're playing as you can pick to play as Corvo or as Emily. I picked to play as Emily. You have to work with a sweet lord. Autocorrect. You have to work with a ship captain named Megan to unfold secrets of Delilah, your aunt, who's emerged out of nowhere, and you have to rescue Corvo, because as I said, he gets turned to stone in the very beginning. Delilah claims to be the bastard child of Emily's grandfather and the half-sibling of Emily's mother. She was cast out and rejected by the elites and ended up kind of scraping by on the city streets. Delilah has decided that it's her time to rule, and it's her niece's turn to be out as a social reject, cast out by society, much like she was for the whole of her life. And she feels like it's justified because it's her sister's daughter who's being punished for kind of the sins of her sister sort of thing. Much like the first game, you're tasked with different missions to progress through the story. The story for this game I thought was a lot more in depth and had a lot more twists and turns than the first game did. And there's also obviously lots of callbacks to the first game as well. And kind of one of my thoughts that I had while I was playing it is there's a character in the first game called Anton Sokolov, and he's in the second game as well. And this guy, let me tell you, he has it rough because depending on how you play the first game, he ends up imprisoned and potentially tortured through both stories. So basically for the first game, you go and kidnap him to get information, and he ends up imprisoned in your camp. You don't really have a choice about that. You have to kidnap him. You can choose whether or not to torture him by like having rats come bite all over his body. I chose not to do that. Now in the second game, he's captured.
Hold on a minute. Why not?
Because I could instead kind of buy his information that he had to give by gifting him an expensive bottle of liquor. So I did that.
But what if the rat was hungry?
Sucks for them.
Not very animal friendly, is it?
No, it's not. And then so in this game, he gets kidnapped by the bad guys, and you have to save him. And he had been tortured by the bad guys as well. So poor guys, he's had quite the life, if I say so myself.
At least you could say his life is torture.
Oh,
You could indeed.
okay.
So I wanted to call attention to one of the missions, which is I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's basically a time slip mission. Do you remember this one, Rakan?
No, not really.
So basically, you have to go through this old mansion that this man was living in, and as you're going through it in modern times, at the time of the game, it's in ruins, it's rubbled, there's blood flies taking over the corridors. It's just a disaster. And you have this device that can, when you activate it, it can switch you back to a very pivotal night for your Aunt Delilah. But you can also use a function on the device to be able to see the other timeline that you're not in. It's really cool. So you can catch a glimpse of it depending where you're looking, or you can switch timelines completely. So it reminded me quite a bit of the time slip mission in Titanfall 2, where you're having to maneuver between the two. They're very different, but same, overall gist. You would not approach those two things the same at all. But yeah, so it's very cool because you're having to actively switch between the two to go through different doors or to get different information. Yes, Rakan.
I can hear the bells in the background.
Oof. There's not a lot I can do about that. We can just wait.
Ever since we started the episode, I was like, any minute now. They should start.
Well, you should have said.
I don't know.
I don't know when it's going to stop.
Yeah, it goes on Sundays. They do it for a long time.
And you think the prayer calls are annoying, huh?
No, I did not. When they would pop up in the background, I said that it was fun that you could hear it. You're the one that doesn't like the prayer calls being in the background.
It's like a tale of two worlds, bells and calls.
You can...
Christianity intensifies.
No, I mean, at least it's not that bad. I mean, you could...
Well, and at this point, I mean, they've been going the whole time I've been talking anyway. Should I just keep going?
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, all right. So I really liked the time slip mission. I just think it's fun how you can maneuver those things, and then the things you did in the past affect the present. So there was one instance where, Jack.
I just want to say, can we just appreciate that Elise is using gaming knowledge to compare across genres?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit impressed. I'm flabbergasted over my life. Like, wow, okay. This is good.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make that point. Hold on. Elise has done something that she's using knowledge that I don't have to compare two games. Elise, well played.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pat myself on the back. Well, so for one example, there's a really interesting part where you are able to get into a huge safe, which in the past timeline you wouldn't be able to get into. But in the current timeline, the front of it has been eroded. So you're able to walk right into the safe. And basically there's this statue that's hanging in the past timeline. And in the present timeline, it's blocking the path to kind of a secret area. You don't have to go there. So you could skip this part of the mission, but it's blocking a path to the secret area. So if you go back to the past time and mess up how the statue is hanging so that it falls and smashes, when you come back to the current timeline, there's no statue blocking that passageway because it no longer exists. So it's really cool how you're able to play in that very different way. So I really liked that mission quite a bit. I have my categories for rating, if you boys are ready.
I just want to say something. It's been,
Yeah.
like, listening to you, I don't remember anything, like anything of what you said. I don't remember this mechanic you were talking about. I don't remember any of the missions you mentioned. Nothing at all. None of the characters. I can't even remember there was a second character, a second playable character. Emily. When did this game release?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can look. Let's see.
I guess if you play as Corvo, then Emily's frozen.
Yeah, I think so. It came out in 2016. So it's been quite a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so your ratings, Elise.
Yes. So my ratings, I don't expect you to remember all the bits and pieces, but yeah. Anyway, my first thing is for story. I said that the story I thought was a 9, and that's because so much like the first game that I talked about last week, one of my, I suppose, drawbacks to the story, which it wasn't a big drawback, but one of my drawbacks was that it was somewhat predictable. Like, oh, of course somebody's going to come assassinate the Empress. Oh, her daughter gets kidnapped. Oh, I wonder who's going to save her. That aspect of it was very predictable. Same kind of feel I felt for the beginning of this game. You have Emily. You immediately establish that Corvo is still the protector for the Empress. Emily is now the Empress. Oh, I wonder what could go wrong. I bet she becomes Dishonored. There's that kind of element of being somewhat predictable. And I think sometimes the missions can be a little bit predictable only because it's a very linear game. So once you kind of learn what the point of that mission is, it's just pretty clear what's going to happen. And you're able to piece together the bits of the puzzle quite easily, if that makes sense. But I did feel like it took directions that I wasn't expecting. Like the incorporation of witchcraft at a point I thought was quite interesting. So there were just elements that I still found surprising, so that's why I'm giving it a 9. Music, I gave a 4. I don't remember what I gave the music last week. It just doesn't stand out particularly to me. I think the most distinguishable parts of the music for the game are that you get sound cues for when the enemies might become aware that you're there if you're trying to be more stealthy. So it'll give a bit of a cue that they've noticed that you're there or that something is off. And then it'll give another cue if they come to actually detect that's a person over there who's not supposed to be here. But that's all that really sticks out. Like, I think I said this last week. I'm not going to go back and look up the soundtrack or anything. Rakan, why are you laughing?
It's nothing. Just go on, Elise. It's fine.
Okay. For types of enemies, I said a 6. It's basically the same enemies that you have from the first game, with a couple added and a couple taken away. The rats are no longer an issue, but you have blood flies instead. You also have a new type of big robot creature that you have to handle in some of the missions. For fighting, I said it was an 8. I still really liked this form of fighting, that there's quite a lot of different ways that you can go about it. I chose to be quite stealthy, as I'm sure, if you've listened to a couple of episodes of this podcast at this point, you probably would guess that that's how I would go about it. But there were new elements that were different from the first game as well, like being able to turn. So how when you're fighting in a game and an enemy comes to you and you can try to block their attack,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in this game, how I was saying last week how I like to incapacitate the enemies? If you successfully block an attack from an enemy, you're able to, because you've put them off balance, you're able to put them into a headlock and incapacitate them. So even if an enemy becomes aware of your presence, you're still able to take a non-lethal approach to neutralizing them, which, just with how I like to approach the game, I found that to be really nice. Okay. Why are you putting disappointed Pepe as your background?
He's playing peekaboo.
Oh, to me it looks disappointed, like, cover your eyes. Anyway.
Go on, Elise.
So, like I said, yes, I like to incapacitate the enemies. So for me, this was quite a game changer. I even had a couple kind of clutch moments where I had more than one enemy become aware that I was there, and I was able to block off the attack of one, quickly incapacitate them while the other one's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And then I'm able to block the next one and incapacitate them as well. And I just wouldn't have been able to probably pull that off as smoothly in the first game. So that was a nice addition. For performance, I said 10 because I didn't have any glitches. There weren't noticeable impairments to the gameplay that I feel like I can point out, really. That's not to say that I think it's a perfect game. I just thought it performed well. But that
you
could
played
also
it on both consoles, right?
Yeah, I did. I played it on the X and on the One. Yeah, and it seemed to go just fine. And I feel like I just had a better grasp of, I don't know, how the game is played, which clearly last week I didn't. It had a bit more of a learning curve for me that I didn't appreciate. So this game plays very similarly, just with those added elements. So I felt like I was able to maneuver with how I wanted it to perform more. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. My next category in previous weeks has been price, and I just wanted to take a second to say that I don't think I'll comment on price anymore because my point is the same every week.
No,
we probably got it off Game Pass.
Yeah.
So unless we play a game that we've paid for, I think I'll just skip it from now on. For graphics, I'm still going based off of whether or not I'm impressed when I think about graphics. So for this, I said a 6. I can't remember what I said last week. I don't think it's anything super groundbreaking, but I do really like the animation style. So, although now that I say that, it makes me feel like, well, that's not... Maybe I'll say 7.
Okay.
I think there's 7.
Oh, okay.
There is quite a bit of detail now that I'm
If I'm not
thinking of it.
mistaken, there's like in terms of graphics and animation and style in general, there's not a lot of difference between the first one and the second one.
No, they're pretty similar.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Is that all of your categories?
No, I just needed to take a drink of my water. So my next category is concept. For concept, I said a 7 to an 8. The beginning of the game, like I said, is quite predictable. You know that Emily's going to be dethroned in some way, but then aspects come up to help. Nice, Rakan. Why are you showing us your Burger King cup?
I feel like Jack is gonna get a bit jelly, so I'll try to see what he's going to say.
Jack, do you want to get Burger King for dinner?
Burger King foot lettuce, number 15.
We could go to Burger King.
We'll cross that bridge after this.
Okay, anyway, so you can tell quite immediately that Emily's going to be dethroned in some capacity, but like I said, I feel like if the story hadn't continued in surprising ways, I probably would have rated the concept more of like a 4, but because there were those twists and turns, I brought it up to more like a 7. Enjoyment playing, I did enjoy this playthrough quite a bit more than I did the first one. I felt like I understood the game more, so I think I'll say an 8. For my enjoyment playing. And overall, I think that brings me to about an 8 as well.
Fair. That's quite a good score.
No, it's not bad at all.
Did you enjoy it when you played it, mate?
I remember I did. I remember that I really liked the game. The second one more than the first one. But now when Elise is talking about it, it feels like I've never played the game. Like, I don't remember anything about it.
Go back and play it then, sometime. Because I agree. I think the second game, I can't remember what I rated the first game. I hope it was less than an 8 because I enjoyed the second game a lot more.
No, problem is, in reality, if you'll not go back and play these sort of games, even though they were good, but like there are new games that I'd rather just play. And when it comes to games like Dishonored that are very linear in terms of gameplay and story, I don't know. I'm not going to say it feels like a waste of time. It's just...
it's repetitive.
It is, sort of, yes, but the problem is I don't enjoy these type of games anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found... Oh, one more thing I wanted to comment on was that I felt like the end of game gameplay was a lot more challenging and strategic for the second game than it was for the first, which was kind of nice. Like, there's multiple steps you have to go through. Like, the first game... I mean, if you're like me and you load up on sleep darts and you just try to incapacitate everyone, I'm pretty sure I sleep darted the final person that's in your way before getting to Emily. And in this game, you can't do that, I thought that was kind of nice that you still had to have more of a strategy going into the end.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm actually quite surprised you liked the game. Like the first and the second one.
Why would you give me a game that you would think I wouldn't like?
It's okay, let me rephrase. I'm surprised that you enjoyed it that much.
Oh, okay.
I felt like, I don't know, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, it's an okay game, but it's not something that I'd be heavily invested in. I don't know. Maybe in terms of the type of games you like have been evolving since we started playing, or since you started gaming in general. On the other hand, you're still playing Deep Rock Galactica, but hey, that's a different story for a different time.
You know what? Deep Rock Galactic is at the current moment just my favorite game to play when I'm just like chilling in my downtime.
I don't get it. What do you...
That's fine.
No.
You don't have to.
I know it's fine, and I know I don't have to get it. But to me, it's very repetitive.
Well, yeah.
That's what makes it good, though.
That's
kind
what?
of mindless and wholesome.
Yeah, it is. It's just a bit mindless and wholesome. And I like that it's like randomly generated caves, so you're not going to get the same one twice. And I think there's enough variety to it. Like each week there's different like kind of specific missions you have to do to get a certain reward. It's not anything huge, but just, like a weekly reward. You have to do like 4 or 5 missions to be able to earn it. So there's that. They do the deep dives, which is that's the background gameplay for whatever episode we paired with Deep Rock Galactic, where you have to do 3 missions in a row with the same dwarf with all the same supplies. So like if you have like 2 health points and no bullets ending the first map, that's how you start the second map. So and sometimes they're really hard. Each week there's 2 of them, and it feels like there's usually one that's really challenging and there's one that's less challenging, so it's fun to try to do those. Yeah, I feel like there's enough variety to it. And you can change. I've played each of the characters practically equally. I've leveled or I've promoted all of them twice. So there's variety in picking which character you want to play with. Or do I want to be the driller? Do I want to be the gunner?
Okay.
Yeah. Deep Rock Galactic, 10 out of 10.
Of course you can add.
That's a
It
10.
would be a lie if I said anything different. You guys would be like, oh, come on. We know it's different.
So, for the
Okay.
next bit, should we talk about what you've been playing this week, Rakan?
Do you want to go over the game that I've been playing this week, or should we just go over the piece of quote-unquote news that I got?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what's the news you got?
I wouldn't call it news. It's just, I actually find it quite funny. So, for a couple of months now, there have been rumors that Sony would release their handheld device.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume Elise doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
That's why I serve a good purpose here. That way you are, in fact, narrating it to someone. And I can be like, what's that?
No, fair enough. So, there've been some rumors about Sony's handheld device, and during the last showcase, there's been a Sony showcase. I think last week, was it last week, Jack?
It was very recent, yeah.
Yeah. They released something called Project Q. And to me, and a lot of people, just failed on the spot. There's no point to it at all. So, it's a handheld device, a controller with an 8-inch LCD screen stuck to it, right? Most people would be like, hey, if I'm going to release a handheld device, it would be something similar to a Steam Deck, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But Sony, they were like, no. It's just going to be an accessory to the PS5. So in order for you to play it, you need to have a PS5. I'm not sure if you could connect your PS4 to it, but basically you'd be streaming the games from your PS5 to the handheld device. So you'd need a Wi-Fi connection, a good one, a very good Wi-Fi connection, to both of your PS5 and the handheld device. But that's not the main problem. The device itself, this Project Q, there's just no point to it because we got something called the backbone. Do you know what a backbone is?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, the backbone is essentially what the Project Q is, but it's cheaper. It's a controller that you can attach to your phone, and voila, you can play you can stream your games from your PS5 to your phone, and that's it. So why would I get this device? Obviously, people were memeing this project hard, calling it the new Wii U. Yeah. It's a meme. It's a meme. But that's, again, and that's not really the worst part about it. Do you know what's the expected battery life on it, mate?
No,
6 hours.
That seems really long, Elise.
But hey,
I reckon a couple hours.
no. 6 hours is quite reasonable, Jack.
I'm surprised it would be able to do that long.
No, you can play the Wii. You can play the Wii. Not the Wii. What's it called? The Switch.
Switch.
Yeah, the Switch for like 6 hours, fine, straight, no problem. But the battery on this one, they're expecting it to be somewhere around 3 and 4 hours. Yeah,
That's what I mean.
but it's an 8-inch LCD screen. Like, I don't know. It's just, to me, that sounds a bit whack.
I don't know how you're meant to advertise that in this day and age, like with a
Exactly.
battery life for 3 to 4 hours of uninterrupted gameplay.
I don't think they care about that. It's just,
Who is this for?
exactly, that's the question. Who is this for? I assume someone
Can
will...
you? I have a very specific question
Yeah.
about it that you may not have the answer to. Can you be playing, like, let's say me and Jack had a PS5,
Right.
and we have one PS5 and one TV. Could he be playing a game on it, and could I play a different game on this? What was it called?
So it's called Remote Play.
Could I play a different game on the remote play?
Oh, sorry, you're asking what's the name of the device? It's called Project Q.
Yeah.
Project Q.
Project Q, that's right.
So
could Jack play one game and I could play a different one? That's the only
doubt
thing
it.
I could think of. I would doubt it too. And that's just such a niche need to try to fill.
yeah,
Like people who don't have enough PS5s in their house.
no, true. In theory, you wouldn't be able to do so because you'd be streaming whatever game that would have been playing on the TV. So I don't think you'd be able to do that anyways. But you never know. Maybe after all the moves.
So does that mean that in order to play it on your handheld, you have to have your PS5 on at the same time?
Yes. Yeah.
Just play on the PS5.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
That's. I think they try to argue that hey, you could play on the go, but in reality, you wouldn't be able to play on the go because you need a Wi-Fi connection.
You
So-
can play on your way to the kitchen.
Maybe.
And you
maybe.
need to turn your PS5 on at home and just leave it on. So why would
Yeah.
you do that?
Well, yeah. It feels like maybe it's like, I don't know. It seems really silly, but just play on the go in your home. You need to go get ready for work? Don't even worry about it. You can play while you walk down the hallway. You're hungry? Play on your way to the kitchen. You got to get up and take a break to go to the bathroom? Yeah, bring it with you. It's no big deal.
Maybe that's the only place that I'd be using it, in the bathroom.
In the shower.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's silly. And if you think about it, the screen on your phone is way better than whatever this one has got. So what's the point? I don't know. I think Sony.
You're probably not going to get one then.
No.
He's already pre-ordered 5.
No. It's been a while since I've turned on my PS5. I'll be honest. It's been at least 4 or 5 months now. Been a long, yeah.
Well, you've not needed it.
No.
It's for when an exclusive drops.
This year, I mean, at least that's what they told us. I mean, most of the exclusives should be dropping around, I don't know, the end of this year, early 2024.
That's a while away.
It is. There are some games that I'm really excited about, but
I know of one PS exclusive that you've not played yet.
what is
Oh,
it?
here we go. I know what it. You know what it is.
No, I don't know. What is it?
Yeah,
You do.
yes.
Think what PS game could Elise possibly be thinking of?
Crash Bandicoot?
What? No,
That's not even
It's
an
at least
exclusive.
where Elise just got a job, right? When she's working.
Oh,
What is that?
no. Are you on about Stray? The
Yes.
cat game. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yes.
It's not a PS5 exclusive. It's not.
Oh, what is it on PC as well?
It is also on PC.
I see.
Yeah.
It's only the Xbox people who
Hey,
had to miss out on that grand
Xbox-
opportunity.
Look, let's be honest here. Xbox has been failing hard with the recent console. Jack is being all salty now, getting pissed at me. But it's true. You guys
He's
got,
right.
you got no games.
Has it
Let's be honest.
been
You just-
failing?
Yes.
Why?
What?
You got no games.
Elise.
What what do you mean you've
Rakan
got no
needs-
games?
No, he needs to be more. What Rakan means is we've got no exclusive
Yes,
games.
no
We've got
exclusive.
loads
What,
of
to
games.
the
and we've got
Series
things
X?
just for Microsoft. Look, things like Redfall would have
Yeah.
been kind of an example of
Yeah.
something which should have been good, but was
you mean new games?
Yeah. Once
Yeah.
upon a time, Xbox used to have really, really good exclusives. Things like
Well,
Halo.
I'm still waiting on State of Decay 3. Wink, wink. Xbox, Microsoft, Undead Labs.
I don't think they care.
Yeah.
Have you seen the latest Xbox convention or whatever it is, where they basically came out and said, we're not focused on games. We're really not focused on games. We're just focused on the ecosystem. It's just... And people were mad, rightfully so. They were really mad. It's like, what are you talking about? You're not focused on games. This is a gaming console.
Wait, so they're trying to get to next gen?
No, I don't think their focus is next gen. I think their focus is on the cloud gaming and the whole, you can play wherever, on your PC, fine, go for it. On your mobile, yeah, sure. But they're not focusing on games per
That's such
se.
a. So they're all about the structure rather than the actual building
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, and it's to me, even though I'm not really an Xbox type of gamer when it comes to consoles, I was a bit sad because that really means in reality there's no competition. Sony really just has it all to itself when it comes to games, and you can see it. You can actually see it. Like, they keep pumping out these games. Sony, at least they're announcing all of these games. The new Spider-Man, Wolverine, what other games? And it's a bit sad that, hey, Xbox, how about you release something that's actually good? But it's like, no, there's nothing. There's really nothing. I mean, sure, we got Xbox Pass, that's good and all, but I mean,
Most of those games already exist.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's just like most people would have played those games anyways, like a long time ago. And even for new releases, the latest release that you guys dropped was a failure. What's it called again? You just said it.
Well, the thing is about the Redfall game, I was reading about it, and I'm pretty sure they're the same people who make Dishonored.
Yes, you are right. Yeah, you're actually right. And
Which kind of is a shame.
is it a shame or is it expected? Because if you think about it, that studio was not really specialized in multiplayer games. Like you've seen the kind of games they release. Single player.
I just mean, like, maybe you'd expect better.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you would have expected better, but still, the game just doesn't make any sense. I've seen some videos about it, and to me, it's like, the whole idea itself just doesn't work. Even though it's a simple concept, you can make it work, but the whole structure of it just doesn't make any sense, and it was doomed to fail, unfortunately. Anyway, so hey, it is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So that's that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you been playing this week, Jack?
Me, I've been playing a strategy game called Crusader Kings.
Is it the new one, though? Please tell me it's the new one.
It's number 3, and we recently got a DLC
The DLC?
on console. Yeah, so PCs are like one DLC ahead of us, but we've got it on console. I've got the update, but I haven't bought the DLC yet. But I might get it.
Oh, fair
But
enough.
yeah, I've been having a lot of fun on that. It's been really good fun.
I don't even need to ask Elise what she's been playing. She's been playing Deep Rock Galactic.
Well, no, obviously for the most part, I've been playing Dishonored 2. I've kind of had
Stop
to
the
squeeze in
Elise.
Dishonored 2. No, I have, because this last week for me was really busy. I had so many places I had to be. I feel like I was off every day, doing things outside the house. I did play Deep Rock Galactic this week, but it was literally only this afternoon, just before we recorded.
Yeah, she has. She now knows what it's like to be us.
Well, I have been playing Diablo 4, and for some reason, you guys didn't believe it was out.
No, we did.
No, you didn't.
We were just saying, you were saying like, come on, boys, download it and we'll all play together. Like, let's do it. And we're like, no, because the version we would get isn't out yet.
So
that was the whole point.
She was like, okay, peasants. And then he played
Yeah.
back his game again.
Yeah, and he was like, screw you guys.
Nah. Here's what I'm going to say about the Diablo 4. I'm like 5 hours in, I think. Yeah, 5 hours.
Have you made a new character?
Yeah, you need to make a new character. I decided to go with a barbarian.
Really?
Yes.
That's unlike you.
I know. I was like, fine, let me try something different this time. And you know me. Usually I'd go with a mage. Yeah, I'd go with the mage.
Yeah.
That's all right. I got bored. Of playing mage in every single game that I play. It's just
Fair enough.
I wanna,
Let's go for the opposite.
yeah, I go for the complete opposite of a mage. So, just like Blizzard, the game in terms of balance, it's just broken. The the barbarian is just broken. It's like the amount of damage this character does is just no. So in the beta, do you remember the first couple of bosses? Actually, it was only one boss that we tried to.
Yeah, there was only one big one. I remember we got clapped. Did we talk about when we all played the beta together?
No, we
I don't think
haven't.
so,
We
no.
can a bit.
Yeah. I think just as a preface before Rakan says, there was one point where the butcher spawned from Diablo 3 and we all got clapped. Like he
we
killed
did.
us multiple times. I'm running away. We're screaming. We're like, it's...
And he just spawned in like a random area. It wasn't like we were in some kind of battle arena. It was just in a regular dungeon hall.
I think it's a random event. It is a random
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
event. Yeah.
It did feel very random, and my God, was it an event?
the difficulty spike. He hears with a hello there.
No, yeah, we got clapped by the butcher. We got clapped by the very first boss fight. It's multiple times, yeah. So, and there was like 3 of us, but with the barbarian, bro, I've done it in like less than a minute. It's just
Really?
yes, it is broken.
Jack, weren't you playing as the barbarian when we all played?
No,
what
he
were
I
was
was a
you?
necromancer.
a necro. Yeah.
You were a necromancer. What was
Remember,
I?
you were the druid.
Druid.
and that was a mage.
Yeah.
So
See,
I remember
Rakan, you're making me so sad that we don't have it downloaded.
how's that my fault?
We can get it, Elise.
It's not.
I remember. I think I might still stay with the Skelly Boy guy.
He's quite good. He's quite good. For this character, and I'll tell you why he's quite good, the Necro. I've looked up meta builds for all the classes, and apparently, early, mid, and end game, the Barbarian is just top of the scoreboard.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I followed a specific build, and I was like, my God, like this feels very broken. Like it's really broken. Like
It says, "Patch me now."
and they did patch it today. They were like, "Yeah, guys, this is ridiculous. We need to nerf the shit out of the barbarian," and they did. They just did.
Bastion.
Yeah, like as we're recording this episode now, I'm downloading the patch. So they nerfed the shit out of the barbarian. All the other classes got nerfed too, but the barbarian was like, yeah, this boy needs to behave.
You'd
No.
think they would have learned that from the beta.
No, I don't think they cared. I don't think it was that bad in the beta. I don't think it was that bad. But I don't know. I didn't play a barbarian in the beta, but yeah, because I might be very wrong actually, but it's just me. How many weapons can you have? What are your classes?
So with the barbarian, you can have 4, I believe.
4. And all
With the other classes, it's 1, I think.
So the barbarian can have 4 weapons, and all their stats would stack up. That's not but that's not the main problem. Obviously, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how the barbarian is supposed to be played. The problem is with the skills themselves. They all sorts of break each other. If you know what I'm trying to say here. So
They're not compatible.
I think they're just too compatible.
Oh, they're too compatible.
Yeah, they're too compatible with each other. So this skill would reset the cooldown on that skill, and if you use that skill, it would reset the first skill that you use. It's very broken.
You can cycle it.
You can just spam it. Yeah, exactly. You can cycle and you can just keep spamming the whole rotation, the spell rotation. Again, I might be very wrong, but that's how it felt to me. And even the devs today released a blog saying people were surviving events that they were not supposed to be. They're not supposed to survive in the first place, and yeah, it's just that's it.
Whoa, what would you mean?
So, yeah, say you're in a one of these random events in the open world, right? These events are made for a group, and you can only survive it with a group. Lo and behold, a single barbarian goes in there and fucks shit up, walks out, with like all the gear and stuff. It's like, hey, you were not supposed to live. Like, how is this even possible? And it's like, yeah, it's just broken.
If you're not supposed to, what are you supposed to do? Run away?
I don't think you were supposed to run away. You were supposed. So again, okay. So these random events in the open world, you have like these objectives that you need to complete, and if you complete them, you'll get the top gear, right? If you fail the objectives, you wouldn't fail the whole event, but you'll just get the mid tier or like the normal sort of drop. Sorry, not gear, drops. Doesn't necessarily need to be a gears. But yeah, so you'll get the normal drops. But a barbarian would walk in, complete all the objectives, get the top, the high, like the best drops for this event. And in reality, it wasn't designed that way. I did experience that quite a lot, actually. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll just do this by myself. Even so, the mechanics of that event is made for a group. I'll do it. It's fun. I'll give you an example, right? So
I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the events, there is this obelisk in the middle, and there are like 4 circles all around it. You activate the obelisk, and your party would need to stand on each circle until it basically fills up. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be done. But with a barbarian, you just activate the obelisk, stand on one, wait for it to fill up. Even though all the enemies, all the mob is like surrounding you, you just wouldn't die. It's like you just would not die.
You can't kill me.
Yeah, you just wait to fill up one circle and go to the other. Hey, good job. That's it. You've done all the objectives. Now clear out the area, get the drops. Hey, well done. Yeah, I get it. It is broken. People are
in the. I was going to say, in the beta, I was doing that. I found an event that would cycle every time I went back to it, and I got like quite a lot of drops from it. I think we did it all together once. It was like you had to defend that guy in like that.
In
it was
like
not
something.
Yeah, or something. But they was like they'd come from all different sides.
Yeah.
And I spawned all my skelly boys, and just it was like playing tower defense. It was really easy, and I just cycled through it. That's how I got to level 20 so quickly.
No, fair enough. I'm quite excited to get to the end game because apparently everyone is saying it's just like so good. Like the end game is really good, and I want to see what's this all about.
I mean, even the clips that we saw doing the beta were just so cinematic, and I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm thinking of kind of that opening sequence where you're following kind of the release of this being. And it's really, really graphic, but in an interesting way, like just in an artful way, very beautiful, and just kind of, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, go on, Jack.
Now, this is a controversial question, but would you sleep with Lilith?
Okay. For listeners that don't know what Jack is talking about, Lilith is the new is the latest demon.
She's the poster child for the game.
Yeah, she's
if you Google the poster, that's Lilith.
So yeah, Lilith is the latest demon to the Diablo world, and she's a very, very thick demon lady. Jack. Bro, no. Just no. What is she made of?
Lead us away from temptation, eh?
She's like basically made of blood.
Is she? I think. Well,
I mean, not
aren't
really.
we all
Kind of how
like?
she was
But
okay, yeah. Let's get. Okay, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no. I get it. Yeah, it's true. She's So here's the thing. I don't actually think she's that bad. Yes, I get it. She's a demon, right? But
He's a hater.
she's a demon. When it comes, if you want to compare her to the previous demon,
Oh yeah, the previous ones they're completely evil.
they're just evil.
Whereas she's the creator of Sanctuary, right?
Yes.
So like, there's some, and that's why they call her the mummy or the mother.
Mother. I'm quite excited to see how would this all unfold.
It makes me think of, when everyone was fawning over the woman from Resident Evil.
Yeah,
She's really tall, and she picks you up.
Yeah.
Miss.
Lilith is quite different though. Lilith has got those curly horns coming out of her head.
Yeah,
She's
but
it's like she looks like a demon. She doesn't look like
but
a human.
I just think that there's probably a lot of Rule 34 for it.
I mean, you're the one bringing it up, so
I'm an inquisitive so-and-so, okay?
No, Jack, just don't. Then do it. Just don't.
FBI, open up.
I'm confused about something. You might be able to help me because I'm not caught up on the whole Diablo lore. Why are spoiler? It's not a major spoiler, but there is an angel on Earth.
Yeah.
Not the what's his name? Not the what's his name in Diablo 3? The black
Tyrael?
angel. Not Tyrael, yeah. So not Tyrael. But why are there still angels? Why is there an angel still on Earth? Why is he stuck? The game makes it so as if you're supposed to know this already.
So I remember that you've got Tyrael, because he's the star, right? He fell from heaven and then goes to Earth.
Yes.
It is Tyrael.
Yes.
He's the guy you find in the monastery.
Yes.
And the reason that the demons want him is because he had that sword, and they took his sword, or something like that.
Right.
And it was basically to get into heaven, because they wanted to get into the gates of heaven and then take it over. And they nearly did. It was only because the Nephilim hit F on them. So the reason I think that there's angel still on there is probably because it's an aftermath of the war, right?
I don't think
Or is the war still going?
Yeah, the war is still going. Yeah, the war is still
Because
going.
I remember in Diablo 3, you've got the War of the Heavens, or whatever they call it, which is heaven and hell going in.
Yes.
And then after that in the DLC, you go against death, which is what's it called? It begins with an M, I think.
So yeah, I think you're on about the angel that went rogue, right?
Well, his is death. You play because you have to go and fight death.
Mm-hmm.
It begins with an M. Elise, can you Google it? What's the
Yeah,
name
look.
of the? I'm pretty sure it begins with an M. But the whole point of it is that the world is destabilized.
Right.
So maybe there's a reason why. But yeah, if the game doesn't explain it, then that's probably a problem, right?
I think it's a me problem, not the game problem. Maybe I'm just not caught up on the whole lore. It's just I don't know. Yeah.
Skill issue.
Yeah, maybe it could be a skill issue apparently, but no, the game is quite good. I'm quite excited for you guys to download and play with me, and we'll hit F1. I think would be fun, like good fun.
Well, we'll probably say it was group homework there. Do you find it,
Yeah.
Elise?
Yeah, Malthiel.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I knew it was an M.
Malthiel? I don't know how to say it. I don't remember how to say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well, he's deaf.
Somebody who remembers actually how to say that is going nuts.
I'm just
Okay.
doing that sticker where they go. That.
Yeah. Okay, so my badly described game is bloodthirsty teens force local wildlife into servitude, conduct animal fight club.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I would have never guessed. Okay. GG. GG.
Bloodthirsty teens. Yeah. Do you know what's sad is the fact that I was like, that sounds like someone describing Pokemon at a church. Like that's what it sounds.
Accurate.
Pokemon.
Do you remember when they said that Pokemon was demonic?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do. I do.
Yeah.
It was.
You don't remember that, Elise? Yeah, it was
No,
huge.
I don't.
Like they thought it was like Pocket Demon or something. Yeah, I think we should probably think about wrapping up.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday again, Rakan, whether or not it's true or not. Thank you, Elise, for telling us all about Dishonored 2. And we also touched on Sony's Wii U escapade. So, we'll see you next time. And hopefully, we've got some Diablo 4 gameplay in the video as well when we play that. We'll put them up. Right, sweet. See you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
I'm already pissed off at you, so don't make it even worse.